welcome back to the Big Ass Cornhole podcast, where we are joined by ACL powerhouse duo Stephen Bernacet and Tom Gustafson. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks for having us.
Yeah, even though Tom's wearing a White Sox jersey.
Listen,
come on, man.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Of course. All right, so let's so Steve, you've kind of like you've been like you're like an old veteran with us, right? You've been on the show, you've done this. So Tom, let's start with you. Give us like a little bit of background. Like, how long have you been playing? How did you first get involved in cornhole?
Yeah, so I've been playing this game probably 15, 16 years now.
Holy
I took
shit,
a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I took a little bit of a break once I got married. As the kids came along, and then I saw all my old buddies sitting playing on TV, and I thought, hey, these are the guys I hung with back in the day. I thought I had to make a comeback and see if I can still kick it with them, And here I am today. So, yeah, it's been a wild ride this first year back, and definitely looking to see what we can accomplish again together, me and Bernacet, this upcoming year.
So 16 years into the game, were you always throwing with that reverse spin to your bag? Because it's very unique to you.
You perhaps have the most unique throw in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of it's wild. I think I started switching it up and spinning it that opposite way probably 5-7 days into first starting to play. I couldn't do it. We started playing in the backyard, all my buddies, and they were just kicking my ass, and I just had to try something different, and it worked, and I just kind of stuck with it and just got better and better, and I haven't even really attempted to try to spin it back the other way probably until this year, trying to see if I can develop it, get a different shot under my arsenal. And, I haven't busted it out just yet, but, I'm not afraid to, in practice, I'll give it a spin the opposite way and see what we can do. So maybe Bernacet will give me the go-ahead this year.
You were probably that 10-year-old kid in his little league pitching, throwing a screwball. It's
crazy.
Who the hell taught you that? I don't know.
So for people that aren't familiar with it, Tom's bag actually rotates the opposite way. So, and you're a right-handed thrower, but the bag comes out of your hand as if you were like a natural lefty. So it's trippy to see in person the first time. You don't recognize it as much like when you're watching you on TV, but when you see it in person, it's crazy unique. We're going to post this interview on YouTube as well. Do you have a bag by you by any chance?
He does. Yeah, of course he does.
So can you do me a favor? This is one thing I've wanted to ask you. Can you kind of just hold the bag up, how you would hold it when you're going to throw?
All right. So hold on. So I hold it flat in my hand like a pancake. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have my pinky kind of on one side, kind of grip it here, and then my thumb sits on top.
Okay.
And it just really just sits there. So when I come and follow through, it's just the slightest right to the left.
Okay, so for all you losers or people that are in the medical field, that's called ulnar deviation. What he's doing, he's tilting his palm is facing the ceiling, and he's turning his wrist in towards his pinky side as he releases the bag. So it's going to give it that opposite spin. It's crazy unique, man. Clearly, no, you would not be the kind of guy I'd be for a new player to go up and be. And don't take this wrong way. If you're a new player, would be like, hey, go up to Tom Gustafson and have him show you how to hold a bag. It's pretty unique. You're probably the only person, right? Steve's laughing, but Steven, you're kind of the same way, though. You guys both have these crazy grips on the bag, and you feel like you don't even really hold it because you guys are both very open palm kind of players. But the amount of control you guys exhibit, is that just hours and hours of repetitions and practice that you guys just have it down?
It is for me. That's really all it comes down to is just consistently throwing and getting, it's like riding a bike eventually.
What always impressed me is that how you grip the bag. To me, it would almost seem like you have to throw some super fast bag, like you wouldn't have a lot of power behind it. But you tend to throw when you're in singles. You threw Widow Bees last year, correct? So it's a slower bag. So it always impressed me that you were able to push through the bag, still holding it like that.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. I don't know. Don't flatter me like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a testament to how you approach the game, because you fly the bag a little bit deeper than most players do. And I mean, I think you have a slow rotation to your bag, so it just tends to land softer than people with a high revolution bag. So I think that actually plays to your advantage, because you can get a bag to land real soft. You throw it up a little bit higher on the board than most players that we see. And to me, it makes for an easier push game, because you just throw it that little bit further. And it's just natural progression. It'll just kind of shove that next bag in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Steven, you came off a pretty solid rookie. You came off a pretty solid rookie season. I mean, we'll call it decent, right?
Decent.
How cool is it to be nominated for like Rookie of the Year?
Actually, that was pretty much we winning it in itself. Just to be nominated with Matt and Brett. I mean, obviously, I was doing a decent job that year. So
you're all right. I mean, it was all right. How cool was it for you guys as a doubles team to find so much success? I mean, do you feel like part of your success early on was maybe you guys were a little under the radar and maybe could sneak up on some teams? Do you think that had a little bit to do with it?
Absolutely. I mean, the first national in it, we played Brett and Eric, and they were not prepared for how we came out.
Now, the one thing that impressed me is that, okay, let's say first national, second national, right? Maybe you guys get by nobody knowing who you are. You guys had two very solid finishes, but then by the time we get into third national, fourth national, your names keep popping up. People know who you are. How were you guys able to handle the expectation of changing? You know what I mean? Going from maybe under the radar to now you guys were, a top seed going into every single tournament in a bracket. Did that affect you guys at all? Or do you guys just have the same mindset? Just go out, put bags in the hole, and let's just do us?
No, to be honest, it's usually before every game, I usually tell Tom that it's just me and him out there.
Okay.
We really don't, it's not about the, no one knowing us anymore, having a target on our back. We go out and do what we can. I take us in a lot of matches.
Yeah, I would too if I was a betting man. I mean,
okay, so let's just throw it out there. All right, elephant in the room. You guys had you basically kicked the shit out of everybody except for there were as long as the team didn't have a guy in them, you guys were basically dominating. What was it about, specifically Matt and Jamie tended to be your guys like arch nemesis? What was it about that? Was it did they just match up well against you guys stylistically? Was it that you guys just didn't maybe play your best game when you played against them? What was it? I mean, obviously they're both world-class players, but what did you guys take away from those performances?
To be honest, the first couple of times we played them, I don't feel like we played our best. I feel like we let the name maybe get to us a little bit, maybe a little too anxious because we were there. We were playing the super team, as everyone thought it was going to be. So, and we were the rookie team. So maybe it was just a little anxious, but there's just a couple of times I don't think we played them well. And then, that's a tough team, man.
Listen, I'm not arguing with you. They are. They're a good team. Listen, you can't hold your heads up. I mean, that's the only team you're going to lose to. I mean, they won 2 nationals. They were team of the year. I mean, you guys obviously had a fantastic season. Is it one of those? Listen, if we've all grown up playing different sports, right? We all had that one team that just for whatever reason they tend to have our number. But if you get past it one time, you get that one win. Doors blow wide open. Do you feel like that's the case? You guys just need to get over the hump just that one time, and then, then you guys are the team to beat from there on out?
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say we would be the team to beat, but just for our psyche to be able to beat them one time, that's all we really need. I know that's what we need. And it's going to come. I have no doubt in my mind we will beat them.
So, Tom, how do you feel going into the season, right? So we mentioned it before. Last season, you guys go in as rookies. Nobody really – I don't mean this any disrespect. I heard of Steven. He had a very good open run going into the pro season. I saw you guys as a doubles team. You were kind of under the radar. How does your mindset change at all going into now that people know who you are? You guys have a target on your back, especially as a doubles team going into this year. You guys, I'm sure as a doubles team, you have lofty expectations, but now other teams are going to want to beat you. They're going to want to beat the team that, no one else could really beat last year. Does that change your mindset at all, or do you just go in and you're just going to play your own game?
You know, I don't think it changes our mindset too much. You know, in this league, I know you guys say it all the time, the talent is just so deep. And whenever you step up to the boards, you know, and have to respect whoever it is that's throwing against you. And that's one thing that I think me and Bernacet said, you know, he said it himself. It's just me and him out there. We're throwing the bags back and forth to each other. We can't let the names, affect how we play the game. We just play the game how we should play it. The strategy, we don't try. We should tailoring our strategies. We've shown that we can hang with everybody, and if we just kind of impose our will on them, we've come out on top most times. So I think that's just one thing we have to continue to do is just stay focused and play the way that we have been playing all last year. So confidence. It all comes down to confidence.
Now, Tom, you're actually the one pro I think that I knew before Sean, because I caught a video of you and Jay Rubin practicing airmails on YouTube or on Facebook the one day, and he was like, "Oh yeah, check out my boy Tom hitting airmails," and I noticed that you had the reverse bag, so I messaged Jay and I'm like, "Is he throwing a reverse style bag?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you should see it. It's trippy as hell." So I went back and sat there and watched it. I remember forwarding the video over to Sean, like, "Dude, this guy is a pro. Look at his bag. It spins the opposite direction." I could not get over it. I was just so tripped out by it. So I will forever hang my hat on the fact that you were the one person that I kind of knew before Sean. And I'm going to take that to my grave, because this guy the amount of research he does, I don't know when he has time for it. It's ridiculous. I mean, I guess newborn.
I still sleep.
Newborn.
I still sleep. You guys had early success so the ACL rolled out this pro shootout event this year, right? You guys won the very first time. What did you guys think of this whole round limited event for this amount of money, right? I mean, do you guys wish that it was to 21? Do you feel like your guys' gameplay, because you guys tend to be pretty accurate down, you guys don't give up the big rounds. Do you think round limited plays well into your wheelhouse?
Well, after we lost to Duncan and B. Jones, I wish that it wasn't just round limited.
Listen, they were the hottest team going in that day, though. You guys just ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, they weren't missing much. I mean, really. I mean, if you watched them before that event, I mean, who did they beat to win it?
Windsor and Birchfield.
Yeah, I mean, they fucking embarrassed them. I mean, Birchfield looked like an infant.
Yeah, they smoked them.
You'll never see those two guys play a worse game. But, I mean, when guys are just on fire like that. So you just happen to catch that team. And don't get me wrong, they're crazy talented. But, I mean, I like your guys' chances in a rematch. But do you guys tend to like round limited, or are you guys – it's just you just dealt with it because it was this type of event?
Yeah, I think we adapted probably quicker than other teams did. You said it yourself. We don't typically give up the big round. At least we haven't been. Now watch all of next year. That's all we'll do. But, I think that's what played kind of into our favor a lot is we play smart. We let Bernacet throw every airmail he wants because he's going to hit them. Where a lot of other teams they'll be more cautious. They'll lay up more than most. And, and that I think that benefits us as, that the riskier part to a lot of other people's games is actually Bernacet's strong suit. So he's going to go for that aggressive stuff. And more times than not, he hits it. And on my end, I love throwing that block right in front and then just watching everybody lay up. And then it's just, hey, let's nickel and dime to death.
So you guys play completely opposite styles. Do you guys ever play the matchup game against who you're going to throw? I guess I should have paid attention more. Do you guys always go the same, always arm inside, always arm outside? Steven, are you always arm inside?
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, we stick with the same side of the board all the time. Because,
Steven, you're more of I'm trying to put every fucking bag in the hole. Like, I'm not trying to play cute. I'm going to try to put 12.
Absolutely.
Where, I mean, Tom, you like to muddy it up a little bit, and you're good at it. So Steven, does that ever make you nervous when you're watching it? I mean, does that? I mean, like you just put the fucking bag in the hole, like.
Well, I will be honest. A couple of times, I will know that block's coming, and I'm like, all right, just put it in the middle of the board. And when it's not there, I'm like, okay, let's see what he can do. But he's a magician like that. He can miss a block and still come out with a point. He does that. I'll never bitch.
Okay. Now, how did you guys first partner up? I mean, did you guys know each other before the ACL season? I'm assuming you guys play in the same conference, right? So you guys,
yeah. So we're both from the Great Lakes.
Okay.
And then he actually played with Tyler Baco at Worlds last year.
Okay.
And all three of us ended up qualifying. Well, my original partner didn't make it.
Okay.
So I was like, well, what do I do here? And I wanted to pick a partner who was local to me. I wanted to build chemistry, play with them in regionals, conferences, stuff like that. And I mean, Tom really honestly just fell into my lap. He really just fell into my lap.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's pretty damn good partnership. Now, you guys last year, I'm not trying to pick on them or anything, obviously, but I've been making note of it. You guys last year were with Ultra Cornhole. There's kind of been some sort of, if you want, for lack of better terms, a mass exodus from Ultra Cornhole.
Dude, it's like the same phrase.
Listen,
wow,
there has been though. Like most of you guys were arguably one of their, probably their biggest name team. You guys were one of the teams that brought Ultra Bags to the forefront for the first time on the main stage. You guys had made it known that you're not going to be joining Ultra Cornhole. It's already on Facebook World, but you guys were nice enough to come on here and at least announce it to everybody else. So who have you guys decided to go with this year?
I'll let Tom do this one.
Such a gentleman.
Well, we, and if you guys didn't catch the bag, I held up a little bit earlier. We're going with Titan this year,
Titan,
and out of Georgia.
Well, I guess that's the perfect segue to introduce Mr.
Brandon
Greba. So if, I'm going to ask you to unmute here so we can bring you in.
He's been sitting there patiently.
There it is.
Just nodding and smiling. Brandon, thanks for joining us, man.
Cool. Thanks for having me, guys. Pretty excited.
Congratulations on the signing. Obviously,
What's up, Tom? Steve?
So,
How you doing,
Brandon?
So Brandon, go ahead and why don't you take it for a second? So tell us a little bit about why you wanted to sign these guys, what you think they bring to the Titan Bags team, and all the above.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're pretty stoked, man, to have these guys. Watching them obviously in the rookie year here was pretty cool, and seeing what they did and stuff. So, we kind of slow played a little bit, just wanted to feel them out and make sure everything was a fit and stuff. We started talking to them. What was it, guys? Maybe a month or so before Worlds or something. Yeah, something like that. So just casual conversations, seeing what each other wanted and just seeing where the conversations went and stuff. And then finally got to meet each other at Worlds for a little bit and kind of talked and hung out and had a few beers and stuff, and kind of got to know each other on that level. So that was cool.
You like beer?
A little bit, man. So we just started doing that, and then it kind of got down to, hey, what do you guys really, really need to make this thing work? And we went back and forth and put a package together for them and stuff. That was beneficial for me, Titan, West Georgia, and then them guys too, support them. So I look at it as a two-way street. We want to support you guys the best way we can, but also, hey, we got to build the brand and sell bags and boards and stuff too. So Tom's been a big proponent already, man, even before we put ink on paper to help push product and kind of help me get some other guys on board too, be a proponent that way, which is huge, man. So that kind of speaks volume for him to do that before we even did anything with him. So yeah, good down to earth guys that we've seen so far, and we're gonna fly them in Thursday morning. We're gonna do some pretty cool stuff as far as some video, some content, and things like that. So I look forward to it, man. I think it's gonna be an awesome adventure watching these guys throw and kind of do our thing for us. So it'll be
So Titan Bags is a relatively new venture. Obviously, West Georgia Cornhole. I mean, you had a line of bags, but you were known for obviously arguably the biggest board manufacturer in the country. Titan Bags, you started up. I know you had one signed player last year, Drew Brown, but this is kind of like your year, right? You've released a whole series of new stamp bags, which we're going to get to in just a minute. Did you enjoy the process? I mean, it's a lot of work behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people appreciate. Did you enjoy the recruiting aspect of this?
Yeah, it was And I mean, I've been in the game for a while, so I know how all of it kind of sort of works, but this was a different avenue that I never really wanted to go down, not for the simple fact I didn't want to, but the simple fact that I didn't have time to even just do it. You know what I'm saying? So I really dedicated some time to do it this year. Just the way the sport's evolving and stuff like that. I think it was needed, the way it was progressing and the way, things are going to go this year that I know. So we needed to do it. So it was in the plan with Titan and stuff to get to this point what we did this year. So it was just kind of, stepping stones we needed to do. So, but yeah, it was cool. I think it was some of that initial stuff and just getting that out of the way and knowing, hey, these guys are just like anybody else, So just talk to them.
That's what I love about the game. I mean, what other sport really besides cornhole do you have where like everyone's just kind of like a normal dude? Like, you know what I mean? Like you could just go up at like any professional event, go up and just talk to them. You know what I mean? Like that's why I love this game is everyone's just so normal.
You can sign a pro deal with a table full of beers in front of you.
Yeah.
No one will think it's any less legitimate.
Yeah.
Or I mean, you make connections and you go wander around and you find someone's camper at 3 a.m. and you go throw bags with them at the World Championship and and next thing you know it's 5:30 in the morning and you got to go to bed kind of thing.
Yeah,
so that's how you make connections. That's how you make connections. So
yeah.
Tom, do you guys want to talk a little bit? Just obviously it was a big decision. I mean, you guys probably had a slew of offers to kind of sort through, right? You guys were a top team last year. I'm sure you had many suitors. You guys were the pretty girls in high school, waiting for a homecoming date. Why did you guys decide that Titan bags was the best decision for you guys moving forward?
You want to take this, Steve?
Yeah, I will. I'll try to tackle that.
He did
question.
the big lean back. He was all ready for it, so he just.
So, to be honest, in doubles at the end of the year, the boards were, getting a little tacky for me. So me with the little B was just it was getting a little tough. So I told Tommy, I said, man, we might need to explore our options in the off season and maybe think about switching bads because I feel like I kind of maybe let him down at the end of the year, and I didn't want to do that again. So with Titan, man, their whole new selection of bads coming. I mean, they're just phenomenal. I mean, you got the 8-9, which I mean I just love. You got a 6-10. I mean, it's just there's a bag for every scenario, and I feel like that is what's gonna help take me and Tommy to that next level.
So if we're gonna stick with the bags, you brought it up, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Out of their new lineup, are you, for singles at least, are you leaning towards a particular series of bags that you like, Steven?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with the Fury, the 8-9.
Okay. So Fury, does this remind you of
like the Psycho? If you had to compare it to something.
Yeah,
I guess I'll compare it to that. It's definitely I think it's a little smaller bag.
Most of the materials out there are replicated, right? But it's the fill and the feel. The one thing I really like about most of the bags, they're fill. Does it just feel nice in your hand?
Absolutely. I love how it feels.
Yeah. So we're talking material wise. It's kind of like a Viper slick, super hole forgiving, medium filled bag. It's not super loose in your hand, but again, as that material breaks down, it gets a little bit looser. It's super hole forgiving. I mean, and with this type of material, as it breaks down, it stretches, so it plays bigger than what it feels like in your hand. So when it lands, plays bigger. It really adds to me. Sometimes when you play with this style of bag, it almost adds like an extra 2-3 inches to the hole. You know what I mean? Like the hole, yeah. It makes it very grabbable. It's easy to push. It almost seems like the bag just wants to go in. So I really liked it. I've thrown all these. So as we're kind of going through this, we'll kind of keep breaking each down.
That's bag. The Ravager. For those of you listening at home, and is the 8 side, is that like slide right, Brendan? Is that like pretty close to that? I mean, I just got a quick glimpse at it. It played pretty similar to that speed, I felt like.
So the 9 side is like what you would find on like the Viper slick side. And the 8 side is, oh, look at it. It almost feels it's similar to like a game changer type pattern, but it doesn't play nearly that fast. It has a similar feel in your hand. It's more of a synthetic material, but it doesn't play nearly as fast. I thought this was surprisingly controllable, especially in humid conditions. It plays really nice.
Yeah, humid conditions all day long for sure.
Now, Brandon, when you're making up the bag lineup, is that something you try to take into consideration? You wanted to put together like a whole arsenal that anybody could kind of go to Titan Bags and find a bag that's kind of in their wheelhouse?
Yeah, I mean, that's how, since day one, we and I wanted to do it, to have a bag for everybody, everybody from beginner to all the way up to advanced, at 8, 9, you're not going to get somebody that just walks up the board brand new, never before to throw that. I mean, it takes more of a high level type to know your throw and know how to control that bag. So we have, your straight up standard, basket weave and suede, what we all started throwing with.
Yep.
I consider that more of an entry level type where you can start learning your throw and how to control the bag with the suede, and then, work your pushes and stuff. So, but yeah, across, so even all those bags in front of you, man, everybody's got a different, some people may hate one, which is fine, and some people may love the next one. So it's just, however you throw the bags, man, we got something for everybody.
So Tom, what about you? Are you leaning towards a specific series? I think we kind of mentioned this before we started recording. I think that me, Dane, and you might enjoy the same bag. What was your favorite?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be leaning towards those Venoms. I think it's going to give me, it gives me that stickier side that I can play that game, that more of that muddy up the boards. And then it's got a little bit quicker of a fast side than I'm used to, but I think it's going to help because it's with that stick side, it's going to be able to clear the hole up a lot better.
Yeah, so we got like the slow side. If we're talking comparable bags, slow side is very similar to like that Surefire type material. And then the slick side of this bag is actually the slow side of the Fury Ravager, or Ravager Fury, however we're naming it. This is the bag that we played. So we ended up playing one game against the Dogcast in the arena, right? And then we got kicked out. Trey Ryder came over and was like, "We're trying to close down. Like, get the hell out of here." We ended up at the hotel. I think Donnie Mcphee texted you and was like, "Where are you at? You have boards." You invited us over your trailer. I mean, we're talking like 1, 2 in the morning. We wander over. We had all had several drinks, and we didn't have bags with us, right? Brendan and McCracken brought bags. You handed me a set of these. I'd never thrown them before. We won the next game. Yeah, and I told you after that that we'd reviewed 100 bags. This bag had not yet been released, but I told you I already fell in love with this. This right here, I think it's going to be a bag that's going to take off big time. Think about Surefire, and it's somewhere in between like it's like somewhere between like a Game Changer and like a Widow fast side. It's a synthetic type material, but again, as it breaks down, super hole friendly. This slow side, you have it marked as a 3 in humid conditions, definitely, but in indoor fast conditions, you can play anywhere up to a 5. But it can cut, it can kind of hit all the shots you like. This is I think you hit a home run without a doubt in my mind, and the bag just looks sick. I love the color combination you came up with.
Yeah, we've been playing with that one for a while, man. That's definitely a shop favorite too, and that's the one I'm leaning more towards playing with this year as well. But yeah, we released that 2 Fridays ago, and yeah, things have been flowing off the shelf.
Oh, absolutely. So let's go over a few of these other ones. The one that I thought I picked up immediately, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna fucking like this. It feels like a gimmick bag. It was actually the Nightmare. But after throwing it, I really like this bag, man.
That bag, I cannot believe how slow the slow side plays on it. Because in your hand, it feels so much.
Brandon, how would you describe the slow side? I'm having a hard time coming up with the words to describe it.
Yeah, that backside material, there's nobody's got that material.
No, that's what I'm saying. I've never felt it before, and that's what I appreciate is when people come out with new stuff. There's this, and I think it's the slow side of the Swarm that I've never felt before, which are 2 unique. But this, speaking of the slow side of the Nightmare, it plays carpet-like, but it doesn't kick. It's I guess a sliding type carpet feel.
But you put that in your hand, it feels like it's gonna be fast as hell, doesn't it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's no way this is a fucking 4, and I threw it. I'm like,
I seriously had to sit there and throw it like down and back 6 or 7 times just to believe it.
Yeah.
And listen,
like, man, is it just crazy
if you listen to our show,
there
chances are you listen to this other podcast called the Dogcast.
Dog holes?
Yeah, Dog Holes. Yes. Donnie McPhee, all right, renowned cornhole, like amazing player. Questionable. This is my favorite bag. So if it works for him, it can work for anybody. Pleasantly surprised. I really like this. I think it was a smart speed comparison. You gave it a little bit of a notch. Indoor conditions, I'm assuming this probably plays maybe up to a 6, but humid conditions definitely played at a 4 when I threw yesterday. I like this. Again, we have not treated any of these. So if you're on YouTube watching this, I mean, this is like ready to go out of the box. Even probably maybe a little bit more so than the Venom was right away.
Yeah, Brendan, I had one question for you on that actually. Once that, because I was not able to get like a really solid cut shot on that. Once you start getting that bag to break down, will it eventually start cutting for you? I feel like it will.
Yeah, you're talking to not somebody that throws that well, but can throw. So, but yeah, I've seen some of my guys throw those well with a cut. So yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, I kept trying to throw that little angle to it. It would hit and just go straight. Which I mean, honestly, I have a mad respect for because it's hard to find a slower bag to do that. But like, I'm happy to hear that once it starts breaking down a little bit, you can actually get that cut with it.
Now, I'm going to be honest. The one that I was the least fan of, okay, the one I didn't was Swarm. But the one thing I do want to say about it is this
Really?
Swarm. This thing prints better than any material.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is like the cleanest fucking thing. I mean, if you're looking for custom bags that just is going to pop, is a Swarm. It's a really unique material. And again, I thought it was going to play faster than it did. But it played like a 6. It really held true, whether it was indoors or outside. It played like a flat 6.
That's a 9. So.
Is it 9?
So you know what that material reminds me of what's on the slick side of the butter.
Is that?
But
okay,
it's just
so
not
I
fast.
never got my hands on a set.
Never had a butter.
Never got my hands on set. Mark didn't like me, so I tried. He didn't like me, so. But yeah, I mean, it was super unique bag. Again, there's gonna be somebody out there. The other side's a 7. Feels, I mean, slide right-esque. I mean, maybe a little bit more synthetic than that. It almost feels similar to maybe it's like the reverse side of like the Ravager Fury, like slow side. I'm assuming it kind of looks like a similar pattern, but it prints phenomenally well. I really like the feel that you put in all these bags though. It doesn't feel universal. It reminds me a little bit, kind of like the power pellets that would be in. I'm assuming there's some squared something in there. It gives a good grip. You get like a good meaty piece in your hand, which it just offers a unique feel in your hand.
Yeah, I mean honestly, that the fast side of that reminded me of kind of like that terror material that Dragon bags had.
A little bit, not as stretchy,
not quite
as thicker.
stretchy, yeah. But no, I mean it was surprisingly. I actually liked that bag more than I thought it would. But the one that surprised me the most.
Yes, and this is coming from him,
Yeah.
and he has 0 to. So
I
think
have
of
the touch of a rapist.
think of the opposite
so,
of Steven Bernacet. Okay, when it throws, like he
Yes.
cannot throw a fast bag. But I was actually
the
surprised.
Stampede. I
Underrated.
was a huge fan. So those of you looking at home, like again, no treatments. This bag is it came in just ready to rip, and man, it's got a 6 on one side, 10 on the other. I actually agree with both of those speed ratings, but holy crap, man, is this bag whole for giving a shit?
Yeah.
I was so impressed by that. I kept doing, again, I've not been throwing the most accurate, but man, this thing was giving me the old rim job and drop, which is like, to me, that just tells you that the
All the
bag's
way around.
beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it was front of the hole on the way back around, but man, I was a big fan of the Stampede. So
If
it was
again, if we're comparing it to another bag, think all slide type feel, speed wise as you're going. It looks like just from the look of it, slow side is like that slide right type material. Slick side. Now, slick side, we were talking about this before. I think there's only one other bag on the market that that there might be out there that uses this, but I think it's actually the reverse side that you're using of it. I'm not gonna name the bag because it wasn't a huge hit, but I actually like the material that you're using. I was not a big fan of the flip side of the bag, but this side seems like it's gonna be more durable. It plays really well. It's definitely a 10. I mean, if you leave this bag fucking short, it's going off the board. But it finds the fucking hole. I was pleasantly surprised because when he told me that he liked the Stampede, I almost fell off my fucking chair. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Was like, I know you like the Venom.
I'm like, you mean the bright yellow one that you like that one?
Yeah,
but
he
yeah,
really
it's
thought
a really
I
nice bag.
like the Venom Prowler.
Yeah.
Which Which I mean, the Prowler's obviously the last one we got to get to.
So the Stampede, we had that last year when we came out. So
yeah, but what did you change? Because this is the 2.0. Is there anything that changed about this bag?
Yeah, so the front fabric, the slick side on that bag.
It's nice.
Yeah, so we changed that up. We're having some fabric issues with the previous one, some seam issues. It was separating and stuff from the seam, so we needed something a little bit more durable. Still at the same speeds, a 10 on both of them.
I'm a big fan though. It's
in
nice.
Erie, I had to throw the Stampede 1.0 with my blind draw partner, and as it's well documented, I do not throw the bag like high and soft. Dude, I had probably 90% of my bags just skip right over the hole, and like I felt like I was like finger rolling it in there, and it was still doing that, but for some reason, the 2.0, man, it was just dropping every time I hit that hole, and I was a big fan of it. So, kudos to you. I think the switch helped out a lot for making that bag a little bit more slinky. And you said durability is always a factor when it comes to cornhole bags. So, kudos to you because I think you made it more durable and overall a better bag. So.
Yeah, and then even flip it over on the slow side. You got that medium 6, I think it is. Yep. And that thing just plays true as hell too.
6 for me. I mean, it might as well be a 15 because again, that's how low and hard I throw the bag. So, but yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of it.
Now the last bag you have is the one thing I appreciate is 90. I would say, let's use a big number. 90% of the bag companies that are coming out, everyone's coming out with carpet bags. But what I don't understand is that not everyone likes throwing carpet. Like myself, I feel like I am an accurate representation of 75% of the cornhole community that can't roll a fucking bag. Okay, that I like to slide the bag.
I would say like 95.
Well, okay, or yeah, even higher. That likes to put bags just down the middle. I don't like to get too cute. I don't like to play fancy. I appreciated the fact that you didn't have like the same carpet on 5 different bags and just change the slick side, which what a lot of people are doing with the bags. You have unique materials across the board, which I like. I think it's smart to still have a carpet option. With that being said, your carpet feels familiar. It's used on other bags. Plays anywhere between like a 3 to 4, just depending on conditions. It can do all the shots and stuff that you want with carpet. I think that it's smart going with a fuller fill with universal fill. It's a little different than some of the other bags, which is going to allow it to bounce and flop and roll. And, we talked about it before on the show. Universal round fill is going to allow it to bounce a little bit more, which is what a lot of those carpet bag players want. I think it was smart to doing that. The template's a little bit different. It's definitely a little bit fuller. Pairing it with the sticks is probably really smart. Again, people that like to throw carpet typically either really want a super fast side or they want that medium control. I think it was a good starting point. I love the print on it. You went with our Buckeyes colors, so we appreciate that greatly.
Smart man.
Not after last weekend. We won't talk.
Yeah, what happened, guys?
Listen, we're not going to talk about that. That's all right. It's a long season. Our defensive coordinator is probably going to get fired, so it's okay.
I would hope so. I fired him already, but I don't have to say so.
But across the board, I think one thing that you do, you have unique designs. Any bag you see out there, you're going to know immediately that it's Titan bag, which I think is smart. Sometimes these guys, bag makers, go with these outlandish designs, and you see them, and you're like, "Who the fuck is the bag maker?" Titan Bags is very prominent on this. I think that you have a very strong pro lineup of bags going out there. That you really do have a bag for anything. So if you're looking for bags, you want to try out something new, I got to recommend trying out Titan Bags. I mean, they have something out there for everything. If you have questions about anything, reach out to Titan Bags, reach out to us. I can make a recommendation based on your throw type. We're always pretty available. People reach out to me every single day. I think I've already pushed people to the Venom. People are like, I'm looking for an alternative to like a Surefire. I right away I'm like, go fucking try the Venom. You're not gonna be sorry. I'm gonna be telling people to try the Nightmare. If you're looking for something just different, go for the Nightmare. If you want a standard carpet bag that's not the same fucking carpet bags that are out there across everything, go for the Prowler. If you want something you need for speed, you think you got the touch of a Bernacet, then go for the Stampede. If you're a Gustafson and you think you're a powerhouse and you work out all the time, Venom's gonna be right up your alley. But they have a bag for every single person out there. I think you guys made a smart move. I think Titan Bags, I think this is the first step in the right direction. You guys have already kind of dominating the board world, West Georgia. Now Titan Bags is kind of slowly taking over the bag world, I think. I mean, you guys really came out. I think you guys listened to criticism of your first round of bags. You don't care about, you're good with handling criticism. I think some bag makers take it too personally, but you're a businessman. You understand that people are only going to buy your shit if you change stuff that they want you to change. And you definitely did that with this. I think you have a really nice lineup.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
No, Brandon, I'll tell you. I want you to go outside, take a hard look at the moon. When you see that little twinkle up there, just know that that's Pat McCracken, because he came himself to the moon when he was talking about the prowler there. So
he did.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of that. I was too. I'm a carpetbag thrower. I didn't really get the chance to talk about it because the non-carpetbag thrower over here took it over. But man, when he was saying that that's the bag you could do all your stuff with, I 100% agree. It's a good bag. You can dance with it. I like it.
Yeah, so we got the Prowler. Nobody really knows this date because we just thought about it or just nailed it down yesterday. But the Prowler and the Swarm are coming out September 22nd.
Okay. Oh, we jumped the gun on those, but hey, look.
Yeah, we haven't even released them yet.
They're gonna be awesome.
And then the Nightmare, that first week in October, kind of going.
We're just building the hype. People are just gonna get excited for it. They don't even know what's ready. I mean, it's
kind of Nightmare Halloween theme, so we figured it'd be a good month to do it.
Absolutely, that's brilliant.
I love your. I mean, this fucking fish that you have on it is just ridiculous. I mean, straight out of Nemo's Nightmare.
Do you know what's
the name? Crazy story, man. We originally had it named as Terror. We submitted the name and everything to ACL. We had prototypes made.
The Dragon.
And we were sitting in Atlanta for the Open within the motorhome, and somebody had zoomed in on like a corner of a bag sitting on the table, and we had it sitting there as a Terror. And they go, "Oh man, I think Maddie's got a bag with the Terror." And I saw the comment. Me and Bruce are sitting there, had a few beers, and we're like, "Oh shit, man." I totally didn't even realize it, man. So we're like, "Crap, dude, we got to call Maddie up, man." So we called Maddie up, sitting there, and we're like, "Man, sorry, dude. Before it got back around to you, we wanted to, just say, hey, we'll change it, man," and kind of got his input on a new name and stuff for it. So that's how
we're gonna be seeing Matty King next week. We're going to the Clash in Iowa. He's gonna be up there. So we're going to hang out with him. So I'll tell him you talk some shit. It's no big deal.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, out of respect for Maddie, we changed the name to Nightmare, so it worked out.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We're excited for you guys. I can't wait to see you guys play this season. Do you guys have anyone you want to shout out? I mean, Steven, your girlfriend might be around somewhere and listening. Tom, you're married with kids. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble here. I'm just giving you an opportunity to stay.
You guys are sponsored, in the lower left-hand corner. No, radio silence. No shout outs. All right, Brandon. All your significant others will be pissed.
No, obviously, you gotta thank the family for all the support they give us so we can go out and play this game. And then, right now, outside of Brandon, with West Georgia and Titan, we, me and Bernacet are both sponsored by Brian over with Fan Bags, who's been a big proponent of us, close friend of ours. So a lot of love and appreciation to everything he's done for us as well.
Tom,
definitely.
Tom, real fast. How old are your kids?
I got my daughter's going to be 4 in November, and my son just turned 2 in June.
All right, so we're in the same boat. All right,
There's hope for you, Sean. You can still be an ACL pro.
No, I'm giving up on that. I'm just saying. All right. So he's a lot out of the house. So if my wife happens to listen to this, there's other people in the cornhole world that are in the same boat as me. So, all right, Steven. Anyways, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
First, I just want obviously, thank you to Brandon for, he's taking a chance on us and try to represent the company well. And obviously, the girlfriend, man, she puts up with a lot of shit.
She deals with you, man.
She's sitting there just for every match, just zoned in. She might be more focused than you are.
She is. She tells it. I've told her before. I said, you make me nervous just looking at you, more nervous than playing the game.
Boy, we wish you guys safe travels. I know you guys are heading down to see Brandon here, like a day or so. But when you are listening to this episode, they would have already announced on Facebook. But you guys were gracious enough to come and join us tonight. Greatly appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you for sending us all these bags.
Brandon, do you want to announce the full Team Titan that you have? Or
right now, I know for a fact you have Steven and Tom. You also have Glenn and Drew, correct?
Yep. And then Nico and Joe.
Okay.
Nico, I don't even know how do you pronounce them? Really?
Nico Morales.
He was the one that I saw earlier today that I was like, oh, all right, he's going tight too. Yeah, that's a good signing. He's a hell of a player.
And we got I just sent a proposal off to a new guy that qualified over the weekend, right before I got on here. So he's going to be a headhunter too, man.
Okay.
So he's from Georgia, but you probably put that together. But yeah, so hopefully get him on board. And then I got 2 more. I got a girl or a woman and another guy duo coming on board. So probably about 6 or 7 more.
It's cool.
Hey, we're excited for you, man.
Steps in the right direction.
Great product, and yeah, we look forward to seeing what you guys.
Dude, we're gonna do everything we can to try to get out to your big tournament this year.
Yep.
It looked like a blast.
In March, right?
12th, I think. Yeah.
It's not my wife's birthday, so I should be able to. We're good. We're good.
I don't have kids yet, so I can do things.
We'll make a spot for the bar with the tent or the umbrella and stuff.
Hey, listen, right? We called the Little Ass. It was named the Little Ass Bar. So
you need to get a motorhome because Donnie and them drove their Winnebago down last time. So
he's driving that to Iowa.
Yeah.
He's driving to Iowa, so he's actually he's driving our asses around all weekend in Iowa. So because
nice.
Brendan and Pat can't make it anymore, so it's just we're letting Donnie room with us. So it should be an interesting weekend.
So all y'all 3 in one camper?
No, he's
we got a hotel.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay, if he wants to stay in that, it's fine. But I got
you.
We're city guys.
Yeah.
We don't camp.
What you want that? I am with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm gonna camp, it's like
now, maybe
better be like an air conditioned.
I don't know what White Sox fans do, but maybe like they're into that kind of stuff. All right, boys. Hey, we'll let you guys go. We'll let everyone else go if you guys want to hang out for a minute or so. We'll catch up and then. But as always, we hope you throw it straight, and it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it
later.